Hello everyone out there in tax land. Dan the Taxman here, tax attorney with Community Tax. And as my name suggests, I am a tax attorney. My specialty is helping individuals and small businesses negotiate resolutions and settlements with the IRS. And today I want to talk a little bit about why it might be useful to hire me to help resolve your debt with the IRS. Now I know you've heard the commercials. Do you owe the IRS $10,000? We can help get between you and the IRS. Help prevent with levies and garnishments, and all that's true. But today I want to talk about some of the items that might not be as well known, some of the reasons that don't make it to the commercials about why you might want to hire a tax attorney like myself to resolve your case. After doing this for 10 years, I think my real value boils down to three things. Number one, I speak the language. Number two, I hold the power of presentation. And number three, I can help keep the IRS honest. Okay, number one, let's start it off. I speak the language. Have you ever been at a party and not a whole lot of people know one another at the party, and all of a sudden two people start talking and they start to realize that they're in the same industry, and then they start talking in a language that nobody can understand because they're talking in their industry lingo? Well, that's the lingo, that's the language that I can speak with the IRS. I can talk with an IRS rep about OICs, CNCs, adding $69 to the out-of-pocket medical standard because someone is over the age of 65. And all these various things where the average person is not going to know what I'm talking about, but the IRS rep and I are going to know exactly what one another is talking about. And if there's no barriers in communication, if there's no miscommunication, if IRS knows exactly what we want from them, we know exactly what IRS wants from us, it's going to allow us to resolve the case that much faster and that much more efficiently. Number two, I hold the power of presentation. Now, what do I mean by that? So I didn't always represent taxpayers in my career. I started my career working for the Michigan Tax Tribunal, resolving property tax exemption applications. And I know it sounds boring, it sounds mind-numbingly boring, but I loved it a lot. I thought it was a fantastic job. So in this job, I would basically take applications for property tax exemptions, and I would write the draft opinion for the judge. And the judge would, have the chance to, change it or make any adjustments, whatever they wanted before it became a final decision. And after doing this for a while, looking at these cases, I realized that what I wrote down, the judge would usually accept almost verbatim. Sure, they'd always make a few changes, but the power for who got these exemptions basically rested in my hands. Now, for most of these cases, some of them were definite yes, you got the exemption. Some of them were definite no, you did not get the exemption. But the vast majority were in the middle. And when they were in the middle, I could basically decide one way or another how the case should go. And for some cases, I would be that taxpayer's best friend. And for some cases, I would be their worst enemy. And I didn't really have a grasp of why I would be the good guy or the bad guy in these various cases until one day it dawned on me. It was much more likely I was going to be a taxpayer's best friend if they made the case easy for me. The less work I had to do to figure out what exactly they wanted and why they thought they were entitled, the more likely I was to be their best friend. So the more they made me work, the less I was likely to grant their exemption. Hey, I was a government employee. I didn't want to work. That's just what happens. The taxpayers who were represented, who had an attorney who knew how to make those presentations, knew how to make those applications, were just more likely to get my good side and get what they wanted. And after dealing with the IRS for 10 years, I know they operate the exact same way. And I know that we can put the odds in our favor, stack the deck, so to speak, if we have a brilliant, great presentation. It's got only what needs to be in there, nothing of what doesn't, tight, clean to the IRS. I know that we're going to make, just like me, I know that we're going to make that IRS rep more likely to use their powers for good and help give us what we want. And number three, I keep the IRS honest. So the IRS has over 74,000 employees, and the tax code has over 74,000 pages. So there are a lot of rules at play in any one of these IRS negotiations. And I think the average person is at a tremendous disadvantage if the IRS rep tells them something incorrect, applies a rule incorrectly, or makes something up. And the reps, I think the IRS reps don't do this maliciously. They're not doing it intentionally to harm you, but it happens. So I'm going to give you a challenge. Okay, my 8-year-old daughter loves giving me challenges from the internet. I'm going to give you one. I want you to call the IRS 5 times and ask questions about your case and see what kind of different answers you get for those questions. I guarantee not every IRS rep is going to give you the same response. And if they are applying a rule incorrectly that's not in your favor, or again, making stuff up, I've seen it happen. Again, you're at a tremendous disadvantage to call them out on that. Now, if you have an attorney by your side, that's not going to happen. Okay, I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm sure you heard. I know the rules. And when an IRS rep says something that doesn't sound right to me, I know how to call them out on it, or I know where to look to prove that the way they're applying that rule is correct. I can say, hey, buddy, black and white, right here, that's wrong. Okay, so I'm not going to be fooled. No one's going to create rules on me, because if they do, again, I know where to get the answers. I know how to prove to them that they're incorrect. And if they won't fix it, I know how to get a manager. I know how to file and prosecute an appeal. I can make it so that the rules are applied correctly and fairly 100% of the time. And again, I think that gives us a tremendous advantage if I'm working with you on your case. So there you have it. The top 3 reasons why it might be useful to hire a tax attorney like myself to help resolve your tax debt with the IRS. Number 1, I speak the language. I make sure that there's no barriers in communication. Number 2, I hold the power of presentation. I make sure that everything we submit to the IRS is perfect, tight, clean, and designed to give us maximum chance that the IRS rep is going to use the power they have over the case in our favor. And number 3, I keep the IRS honest. I make sure that the rules are applied perfectly 100% of the time, and I make sure that the IRS doesn't make anything up. So ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today. If you'd like more insider knowledge about the tax resolution industry and how it might be of use to you in your case, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Everyone, this is Dan, the Tax Man, tax attorney with Community Tax, and we will see you next time.